In a 100-page report issued today, DNR confirms the fire was human-caused and says they may sue to recoup costs, about $4 million. KXLY4's McKay Allen is live in the Dishman Hills. And McKay, you've looked through that report.
I have. Here it is. It's about 100 pages long, a very detailed report. It contains many statements from people who were on scene that day, civilians as well as fire investigators themselves, and it sheds some new light on a couple of things. First, we know the fire itself didn't now start on Dr. Tracy Berg's property. We're now told it started in property adjacent to her property. It was a recreational fire. On July 7th, it got out of control, of course, on July 10th because of the high winds. We also now know that there have been repeated, not just this last summer, but summers in the past, repeated complaints from neighbors about juveniles starting fires in this fire pit on this property. Some of these complaints were filed with the fire departments and police departments. Others were just phone calls to Dr. Berg herself. Now, charges in this case could still be filed. DNR submitted this report to the Attorney General's office as well as the County Prosecutor's office. County Prosecutor's office will then make any determinations on criminal charges. The Attorney General's office will recommend to DNR whether or not they should try to recoup damages in this fire. Now, damages, as we mentioned, DNR says $4 million between damages and firefighting costs, and as many as $50 million in damage to homes and property up here. Now, this report was released today at a press conference by Land Commissioner Doug Sutherland.
This thing could have been a hell of a lot worse than what it was.
5 months ago, fire ripped through the Dishman Hills, destroying 12 homes. Today, the official investigation is over.
The Spokane Valley fire was one that was a human start.
It started as a recreational fire that everyone thought was out.
The heat of the fire actually, what we believe, started a root fire, which is an old a tree with roots underground.
Then high winds pushed the blaze into trees and homes.
This was a very, very scary fire.
And an expensive one.
To suppress it, it was in excess of $3 million. On the Department of Natural Resources properties that we owned that were affected by the fire, we lost about $1 million plus of timber.
Right now, the report goes to the Attorney General's office and to county prosecutors. Any future criminal charges will be up to them.
Whether or not the county prosecutor wishes to pursue that, it's up to the county prosecutor.
But whether or not to try and recoup $3 million of firefighting costs, that's up to DNR.
That determination probably will be sometime in the month of December. And then I've got to decide what action to take.
Now, if DNR does decide to try to recoup damages, that would be the single largest attempt to recoup damages after a forest fire from a private individual. Now, you can look at this entire report on KXLY.com. Coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll have the story of a family who's trying to rebuild after the tragedy nearly 5 months ago. Reporting in the Dishman Hills, McKay Allen, KXLY4 HD News.